Mike the Ref Maloney, Big Bad Boris on the call here tonight. It's
Let's go! Let's go!
Third! Super Kick Party! Yeah, pay the money for that. No one. And of course, you gotta get the hop in the skin. Hey, yo, 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 and away we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Wednesday night AEW Beach Bash Dynamite edition of the Sidecast. KT Watson, great to see you here. How in the world is everybody doing tonight? I hope everybody's having a blast right now. It's going to be a very... Now that we got it straightened out exactly how they're doing it, they're doing a 4-hour taping of... wrestling tonight. We're going to see 2 of it live tonight over on AEW. Now that we got that all figured out, I thought they were doing all 4 hours in a row originally, but seems like things got misunderstood, misfigured. But you know what? It just means we're going to have 2 great nights of wrestling action coming up here. So, yeah, of course, we got the steel cage match going on with Samoa Joe and Jon Moxley for the title, which... I think Moxley survives, but it's going to be shenanigans, which is going to lead to Anarchy in the Arena being announced for Double or Nothing, which, as much as everybody says they don't want it to show up, it's going to show up. Let's not even kid ourselves here. It's going to show up. And then you got... we got a women's eliminator match. We got the return of Skye Blue, the return of Mina Shirakawa, the debut of Ezim. The New Japan Strong Women's Champion who just defeated Mercedes Moné. Got a feeling that might get involved in a little bit of the situation here. As if you guys didn't see Mercedes' reaction on Saturday to losing that title, it looked about as bad as, well, how can I compare this to? Every year the Toronto Maple Leafs get eliminated from the playoffs. Just throwing it out there. Not that they're playing right now or anything, but, you know. No, I honestly feel Toni Storm is going to win this match. Probably pinning Skye Blue. It's going to suck on her first match back to get pinned, but with the caliber in there. But I think after the match, Toni goes into her promo about, you know, taking on everybody. And that's when Thekla's going to show up. Thekla's going to show up, and that is going to be the challenge for Double or Nothing. And I honestly feel that is going to be a fun match that we can get into here. Thekla versus Toni Storm. Yes, please. And then, well, hey, Miss Vic. How you doing today, Vic? I hope you're doing well. Just going through a rundown of what we have scheduled so far and what I think's going to happen. I think we get our Thekla debut tonight. I don't think we get Prime Alexander tonight. I think Bobby Lashley says, look, if you could beat me at Double or Nothing, if you could beat me at Double or Nothing, I will give you a spot in the Hurt Syndicate. And that becomes the match. Bobby Lashley get a singles debut match in AEW against Maxwell Jacob Freeman. Because remember, he hasn't had a singles match in AEW yet. Everything's been tags. Or was his opening match as singles? His very first match. That's right, because he was brought in first. No, he was brought in second. That's right. It's all tags. But yeah, I think that's what's going to happen there. And then you got the will they, won't they coexist stereotypical match with Ospreay and Hangman versus Josh Alexander. That's the Alexander we're going to see tonight. And Konsuke Takeshita. You tell me that is going to be amazing. His first AEW singles was Swerve. Yeah, there you go. So he did have one against Swerve. But think about the caliber that he's done here. Like, he doesn't do single matches often right now. So this will be a sight to see. But I do think it's going to be Lashley versus MJF, and I think it's just going to be a challenge that's put out there. I think that's the only one. Yeah. I don't think we're going to see Alexander tonight. I think we're going to see Thekla after Toni Storm wins tonight, just like I mentioned earlier, Nick. Yeah, Prime shows up. Yeah, I think that makes the most sense. You don't want to put all your eggs in the basket like this, because then what do you got, a double or nothing? You got nothing. Are the great matches, which I'm sorry, but this is the problem that AEW has now. They're no longer just the show that can have good wrestling on their pay-per-views. Like, we basically, bottom line is you have to have minimum like 2 5-star matches on every pay-per-view. It's a hard challenge, but it's a good challenge to have. And then, of all things here tonight, Zack freaking Gowen versus Ricochet. I really wonder what it's going to be like to have a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest. I really wonder. Because remember, for those that don't remember, Zack Gowen did wrestle for WWE back in the... Well, his major feud was Vince McMahon, of all people. He was brought in for... Well, it's funny because he was actually the wrong Zack Gowen that they brought in, right? So... If the stories are true, he is not the proper Zack Gowen that they were trying to hire, or the proper one-legged man, one or the other. But taking on Ricochet, which I think is going to be a very solid choice to have Ricochet in there. It's like having Ric Flair wrestle a broomstick. Ricochet can have great matches with anybody at this point. But yeah, so he did actually hire Sum 41 to put the new, just like it was yesterday. Yeah, it got uncomfortable at times there. And the fact that I remember Zack Gowen and Stephanie McMahon versus the Big Show. When Big Show was the heavy for McMahon. Like, that was... Ugh. That eventually led to the No Mercy father-daughter I Quit match, which was... In 2025, it's more like... I'm out. Peace. But yeah, with everybody piling in here, thank you for being... Oh, God. Well, I guess if you're not last, you're first, right? And this is a hot way to start here. They're going to go with the will they won't they tag match here right off the bat. Nats fan, how the hell you doing? Everybody just filing in here. Good to see everybody piling in here. Get in your cars, get the speakers, get the popcorn ready, because we are going to have some fun tonight. I even got my... I actually upgraded. I didn't do the regular pop. I went with brand risk from GG Sups. Didn't use my waifu cup tonight because, you know, a little to change things up. Other than a crying dog because of thunderstorm, doing very well. Hey, I know. I actually, one of our regulars here. Sorry, just had a little note come up here I'm going to have to respond to right away. But, when you're dealing with, Game Time Art, by the way, is the guy that I was talking about here that, it's very well with pets. What's with the double screen? Am I missing something here, Nats? Oh, in the U.S. it's... Okay, so yeah, no, it's fine here in Canada. You got the picture overlay? And... It's all right. All right, so yeah, we're on a single feed right now, and they're already arguing with each other. It happens to get, but you know what? We've had it actually happen a couple times here last week with our production here, so I know exactly what you're talking about, but I apologize. I just had a guy. Here's a question for you, chat. I'm just relating this to a discussion I was having with someone in a chat group I was just in. If somebody hits a viral moment, it's almost instant that your rate goes up, right? Like the second that you do something that would just get like 3 million views if you're on the indies, you would normally have your rate go up a little bit for other promotions, wouldn't you think? I think this would be more of a thing to talk to wrestlers about. Yeah, I would think so in many ways. That because we just got announced that Black Hole Wrestling, one of the new promotions here in Edmonton, brand new. Like they're doing their first show next month. Just signed Ninja Mac to a show. So, oh, you sent the screenshot? That is exactly what we get sometimes when we have some issues there, Nats. So don't... now you get to feel what us Canadians feel like once in a while. Well, yeah, like, sorry, I don't want to take away from this matchup here, because if you look at this, like right now, how many times is Takeshita and Ospreay met up? Is this like 4? 4 or 5 that they've been in the same ring together with each other? Like, we had the Owen semi. We had the tag match in Australia. We had the triple threat with Ricochet at All In. And the best part is there is nothing wrong here. There is absolutely nothing wrong with having these two here. Yeah, I saw that clip that came out from McAfee putting over Super Ninja. And Super Ninja actually commenting back on it, so maybe he'll end up on the show somehow, but... I love it. Now I got people saying, "Oh, he's been over for a long time." I'm like, then 4 other people just pile in. They're like, "Yeah, no, I never heard of him until this past week." So I'm like, "Yeah." Oh, what is SRS up to here? Folks, we got some breaking news. I wish I had some kind of news clip online here. We have a re-signing in AEW that literally just dropped here. It has been announced now that somebody is not going to free agency. I am really dragging this out for you here. I will give you one of these because Willow Nightingale has just signed a contract to extend her deal in AEW. It's not Mariah May, but I'll tell you this, Willow Nightingale, that is a hell of a keep. But yeah, I think we'll talk about it more during the women's match, and once we get a break after this match. Oh my God. Like, God bless Alexander here. Like, Alexander is actually not a big Willow fan, but she's talented. Fair enough. For me, that's a huge get. Just for the potential that she has and the connection she has with most of the crowd. Maybe not all of it, but most of it. I know it's not with you, Nats, but... No, but if you're watching this match here right now, like, how good is Josh Alexander? How good is Josh Alexander? Like, you want to talk about somebody who is considered a tag team specialist? Like, Takeshita, he is that generational talent. He is that Okada in waiting in many ways. It's just going to take time to get him up there. Even Okada, when he was going, wasn't super launched right at the beginning. Oh, and there's the hot tag to Hangman. This one actually feels like it's somewhat of a hot tag here. All right, this is a Frank Sarah hot sauce worthy one. Well, like, let's. What do you guys think when it comes to a kid like Takeshita? Like, he's got all the potential in the world. He's got all the skills in the world. Even his promos, you know, when you take Callis out of there, he isn't that horrible on promos. Give him a little bit of time, and yes, he will become he will become an Okada level wrestler. And I think he more appropriately, and this is something that we could talk about with a lot of interaction that's been going on here. I think a guy like Takeshita needs an AEW. Just because of the style of wrestling he does. Like, most of the storytelling that he does in the ring. And it's typically one of the best things to do, right? Like, he's not going to be a guy that's going to give you 500 promos for one match. He'll give you one promo to put all the pieces together. Then he's going to go in the ring and show you why that story matters. Oh, God, look at this. He literally was trying to go for a gotch and just got caught. So, yeah, like, he's got all the time in the world. And he's not afraid to do anything. And that's another thing that will help you a lot when you become a wrestler. You're not afraid to do anything. And that's one thing I find when it comes to a lot of these people coming through the systems, right? So I'll pick with him. Yeah. It's tough. Like, sorry. The entire wrestling world talking about Sabu this week and everything past it. Like, I'm going to tell you this right now. Anybody that wants to start bringing up the whole accusations towards GCW, just don't. Do yourself a favor. Just don't. It's not a bannable offense, but it's just bad karma. Wait until the body's at least cold before you start doing stuff there. Sabu, to me, realistically, and this is a story I've heard from many people talking about Sabu and what his reputation was inside the ring. Outside the ring, absolutely. He was a class act and helped a lot of people and tried to be as personable as possible. But in the ring, like, he was the original person that, to me, you would hear about, but you'd never see. You would hear everything that he accomplished, everything that he was doing, everything that all these stories about this mythical Jewish suicidal, genocidal, homicidal maniac. Well, Ospreay just did a three-quarter twist outside and crash landed on the ground. Oh, there's a crossbody. At least Alexander's smart enough to push and get out of the way there. That's one thing we found with a lot of these people. When they do it, they do the push, but they don't get the hell out of the way. It's one of those that just drives you nuts, right? Not sure you subscribe to RVD on YouTube, but he's posting old Sabu matches on his channel. Good on him. And I totally respect him for doing that. And I know there were some very close connections. I know Taz had a very close connection. I know RVD did. A lot of those ECW guys did have a very close connection with Sabu. And like I said, from everything I've heard, he's been nothing but a class act everywhere. I haven't followed RVD on YouTube, by the way, Nats. Just I'm very picky when it comes to wrestlers, especially when they go all carny every time they sign a deal. And the reason I say that is because you can talk about AEW in such a positive light, but the second you sign a contract to other side, so sad. Pat Mack was put in the gun, popped out like a Pat looked fine on Monday. He looked shocked, but didn't look bad. He's beaten up, obviously. By the way, NWF, good to see you here. But yeah, talking about that on Saturday. I'll be honest, I was in and out on watching that on Saturday. Still bruised, yeah. Like, he's going to be bruised for weeks. He's not a guy that goes out and wrestles every week. Just like we're going to see out of Zack Gowen later tonight, as he's going to be taking on Ricochet here, so... But yeah, like, when you got guys that aren't regularly in the ring, you're going to get the battle scars. But once again, just good on Zack. Well, it's going to be interesting what kind of story we can do here, because like I was saying off the top of the show, this is going to be Ricochet's Ric Flair with a broomstick moment here, for lack of a better term. It's going to determine exactly what's going to be going on here, right? Yes, he was a punter, but he was also a wrestler in NWF. Like, you got to remember. You got to remember those matches with Adam Cole. You got to remember he was in one of the original, best way to describe, one of the original new cage War Games matches. He was one of the first ones there. Oh, Vic, I totally think this is Ricochet wrestling a broomstick, because Zack is not going to be in the same physical condition he was in 2004 or 2002. And let's face it, Ricochet is not Brock Lesnar, where you can just pick him up and throw him around wherever he wants, right? Think Ricochet and Zack are friends? I don't know, maybe. I think a lot of the wrestlers are. Like, personally, I'm not worried about it either way. They want to say they're friends. Great. I think they're going to have a lot of respect for each other. Because let's face it, Ricochet is, well, everybody's got their own beliefs. Everybody's got their own thoughts on things outside of wrestling. But inside those ropes, like, Ricochet is one of the best. Let's not even kid ourselves. And, well, hell, you're looking in this ring here, like, here's the funny thing about AEW, and I think we can all agree about this. You can literally walk in there, and this stems back to something that Will Ospreay said in an interview this week. You can literally go into any match here and say that there's at least one, if not four or six, 8 competitors, depending on the size of the match, that could be considered one of the top wrestlers in the world. And right now, I would say that in many ways, you could have, in this match, you could have all 4 have that claim. The only problem with Alexander is the fact that he hasn't had the exposure, the same kind of exposure. Like Takeshita, we've talked about, he's multiple promotion champion. He's basically, you know, 4 belts Monet without advertising it, which is now 3 belts Monet, but I digress. We can talk about that a little later on. Will Ospreay, like, he essentially is the uncrowned champion, in my opinion, at least. We literally could go either way with Ospreay and Hangman, by the way, Double or Nothing, and I wouldn't feel bad about it. I think there's more of a story that you can flesh out with a Hangman Moxley match compared to a Moxley Ospreay match. You got a month to deal with it, but at the same time, like, when you're going through it, like, Hangman and Moxley have had that huge feud. They've had the Texas Death Match. They've had all these big matches with each other. Ospreay hasn't had that just because of the amount of time he's been here. And the majority of the time, he's been involved with the Callis family in, like, 6 degrees of separation somehow here. And Nick, don't let me forget, I'm going to repost that right now because I want to get you the extra pops here when I can. Whoa!
You left your house and walked into mine.
Mr. McGee, thank you once again for resubbing 38 months. That's over 3 years. I am really glad that I've convinced you to subscribe here. I appreciate you. I appreciate your verbiage. I appreciate your Montreal Canadiens friendship when it comes to hockey teams. As I'm pretty sure Toronto's about ready to get spanked tonight, probably. But yeah, how's everybody doing? Only one sub. Hey, I truly do appreciate. I've heard that from more than one person. I think I've heard that from like 5 or 6 people. Yeah, and I truly do appreciate it. And you know what? I understand that times are tough here in this economy and everything. And if you're able to sub, great. If not, just don't be afraid of the ads. And there's Zodiac popping out of nowhere here with don't watch Twitch otherwise. Yeah, like that looked. By the way, good to see you. Good to see everybody here. Like, seriously, this is pretty damn awesome here tonight. Just having everybody file in all over the place here. By the way, for those on Twitch, just a reminder, we are raising funds for jack.org this month. We're making it a lot easier on you here. You can actually just hit right where the sub button is. There is a donate button. Goal is $500. If we get near it, I'll figure out what we're going to do for it. For me, it's more about taking care of youth and young adults and trying to help them out with their mental health and give them tools how to, oh God, when their brains get scrambled just like Ospreay's just did. Ospreay with the, that's an interesting kick out there. But yeah, we got, well, this crowd is, well, it's Chicago, right? Like, they've held back on Chicago for a little bit, which ironically enough, they're not going to be coming up here. And this is one of their bigger shows, like a bigger building show, as they are in Wintrust, I do believe, tonight. Did Remsburg just decide that he didn't want to go down for the cover there? Oh, Riccaboni's there. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Get him. Oh, here we go. Duck. Uh-oh, here we go. Hidden blade right into... Oh! Stared at that elbow pad. The will they, won't they? We're at it again. Hangman has the best facials. Has the best gardening tips if you follow him on Blue Sky. He is one of the best. Buckshot hidden blade? Yeah, if that ain't a knockout, I don't know what is. Blew the headgear right off Alexander right there. Literally blew the headgear right off. They actually... That's a hell of a finisher, by the way. If they could actually get together and actually be a team... Oh, Phoenix is going to be so much fun. And of course, here comes Takeshita to ruin everything. All right, who's coming down to save things here? 2-0 Florida, let's go. Honestly, I want to see Florida win just to see Steve Dangle's reaction as they go along, more than anything else. If you guys aren't familiar with Steve Dangle, he's Go Cats. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Dangle loses. Yeah, like I'll be honest. Whenever his videos come up, I watch all of them. I'm not a Leafs fan, but just the analytical part that he gets into. All right, well, these two hate each other, and Callis is running like... Yeah, he's like... I would like to have the kind of energy to be able to produce videos like that to do on this channel here for you guys. I just don't think I'd have the energy to go... I think I'm a little more too much of a social studies teacher, to be honest. Love how they don't tell Excalibur the run format for tonight. That is great. This is going to be a fun cage match tonight. And you know they got to get time. Because they're going to have to put the cage in. They're going to have to take their time in the match. And then I guarantee the end of the match, they're announcing Anarchy in the arena. That to me has to be somewhat of a given at this point. By the way, I forgot the... I forgot the special music when the Cats are getting the lead in Toronto. Sorry, my bad. I forgot to add that in there earlier. But no, once again, just, yeah, this cage match is going to be special. There's going to be a lot of craziness involved. I don't know what we're going to get for a finish. Other than the fact that Moxley's probably going to win due to shenanigans. So, if Ricochet's facing Gowen... Oh, Alicia, what do you got here for us? With all due respect to Dante, When you're starting to look like a chia pet, don't call somebody else a garden gnome. There's this thing about glass houses and stones that I learned. Like, looks like we're going to get a top flight versus Sammy and Dustin more likely. Because this match ain't going nowhere. Oh, here we go, here we go, here we go. One-legged ass kicking contest. One of the best heel in wrestling, right? Yeah, like best 2025 heel in wrestling. I think that's pretty obvious for Ricochet. Because it's simple. I could sum up Ricochet in 3 words. He gets it. He knows what it takes to be a legit heel. He always had the potential. Like, it's what we were saying about in the beginning of the night here. You can have 1, 2, 3 wrestlers that are considered best in the world. Here's another one. You can actually have an argument saying Ricochet may be one of the best in wrestling right now. And McGee, you just made the good argument. One of the best heels in wrestling. How would you ever think of a wrestler enjoying coming down to the ring in crutches? I can imagine all new wrestling fans doing this. Most entertaining heel in wrestling for sure, absolutely. Like the stuff that he was pulling off when he was dealing with Vince was just phenomenal, to say the least. Phenomenal. But then you're dealing with more, like I said, this is going to be interesting because this isn't Brock Lesnar. This isn't the same opportunities that you would deal with when. All right, what's it? Ricochet going to give him his leg back, or he's just going to leave it in the corner? Oh, this is going to be this is going to be interesting. I don't know how long this is going to go. And of course, he's bouncing the ring, so it's harder for. Uh-oh. Ricochet looking to go amateur style? Ricochet getting worked. And Ricochet having and Ricochet bailing. And this crowd is going absolutely ballistic, and we've seen one move. Two moves. This is awesome right here. That lady just literally ripped Gowen right over to the barricade on her. Like, Jesus. Don't do that. Don't do that to a wrestler. Even with two hands, it's fine, but. Shiny ball, shiny head. And that's the thing. When you deal with a guy like Zack Gowen, just make the match simple. Get yourself some generated heat here. Ricochet is playing this up so well right now. And what? Like I said, in terms of actual moves, we might have seen 3 so far. Like, you could do a ton without doing a lot. And it wouldn't surprise me in the least if Ricochet gave Gowen the win here. Packers, Bears, Thanksgiving night. Oh. I'm a little confused, though, chat. Ricochet, you idiot. He's trying to go for a figure 4, but there's no leg there to go with it. See, if you... Didn't I mention something about Ric Flair before? Oh, here we go. Quick cover. Could you imagine if they finish it off in the commercial break? No. You ever have one of those phrases that you know you're saying and then you throw in the word "but" after just because you know it sounds horrible already? Well, I'm going to throw that right now. Bears fan here. Got to do something to make it really interesting. Bears sure aren't trying to make it fun. Well, I'm a Bills fan. I don't want games to be fun. I want to win by 50 in every game. But the question I have, this is the first time ever. Oh, Ricochet going for a 450 and gets out of the way. This is the first time ever on Thanksgiving that we're going to have the Chiefs versus the Cowboys. All racism and that aside, how the hell have we never gotten Chiefs versus Indians on Thanksgiving? Like, it just floored me when I heard that, and I'm like, all right, well, they got a free marketing campaign going. What, you lose by 50 every game? It's going to be better this year. I'll tell you that right now. Sorry, because we're talking about football, I actually had to allow that, Nat. Sorry about that. But yeah, it used to be Redskins, Cowboys. But even so, like, after that change, like, once it all changed up, and it started opening up to, like, 3 games a day, 2 games a day, how could you not think about doing that match? All right, springboard 450 out of nowhere. I love having Ribicani out there just for the fact he could tell the story the way he needs to. What else? Take the lid off my drink, right? Shooting star off the top now. Keep Toni on Saturdays at Ian. Here's the thing, and I think Tony Khan actually would do that. There's Vertigo. We're done. Gowen kicked out again. Ribicani is the guy that Riccaboni. Sorry, I gotta remember to get that straight. Riccaboni. It's actually his choice. He's got a job that's close to home. Hey, McG, yeah, we just talked about it just before you got on there. Sean Sapp reported it, and Nick reposted it out. I know I retweeted Nick's post. He's got a full... You notice Ricochet's the one that pulled the shot the prosthetic out of the ring? No way. He's missing it. And here comes the spirit gun. There's the spirit gun, and we're done. This reminds me a little bit of McAfee and Gunther. But this only lasted, what, 10 minutes maybe? 7, 8 minutes? There might be a respect spot coming out of this. 4-0 Florida. I'm assuming we're going to get a Kevin Knight appearance here. Cat. Oh, this got to be one of the nicest nights ever here. Is this the Leafs' last chance? Well, Nick, you got to remember, Mick G's actually a Montreal fan. We all just hate the Leafs. It's sort of a universal thing here. Oh, and here comes Mark Briscoe. Was Kevin Knight not available? Because that's where the feud's supposed to be. Marner and Tavares are in... well... Don't hate the Leafs, but I'm sort of the same way. In many ways, I am a little apathetic when it comes to over the last year, I've become rather apathetic, I believe is the best way to put it. Just so we're gonna get a Briscoe Ricochet feud going, or which one are we gonna do here? I hate the Canadians and Bruins more than any other team. Fair enough. Being a Habs fan, Southern Ontario, here from... yeah. Hey, it's the Garden Gnome. Good old here. Bruins are number one. Panther Oilers, don't sleep on Carolina, Zodiac. Don't sleep on Carolina. They could win it. They could win their round tonight, get a little bit of time off. Same thing with the Oilers. Like, they got to win tonight so they can get a break. Caps making that 3-1 comeback. Hey, Nats, I hope so for your sake. I'll be honest. I think they had their fun with Ovechkin. And that's where things are about to end here tonight. Even, well, what, tomorrow night, right? Yeah, Caps play tomorrow, yeah. Bobby's got a great shirt right there. Bobby's got an amazing shirt on right now. The thumbs down shirt. I'm telling you right now, we are going to get MJF versus Lashley at Double or Nothing. Because they have to start filling that card out. What, we got a week and a half? Maxwell, Owen, Freeman. More like Maxwell owned Freeman. Cedric tonight? We were talking about that, and I don't think we're going to get Cedric. I think you save it for... I think you save Cedric for the pay-per-view. I want a Hurt Syndicate shirt. Those are... Now, which one would you get, Zodiac? Would you get the thumbs down, or would you get just the straight Hurt Syndicate shirt? Will you get a pay-per-view pop? Absolutely. I find that in aid, just a text... Hey, yeah, there's a couple things I want to pick up there, but you know, there's this weird thing called cash. Granted, tomorrow's payday, so. I'll give an honorary one of these for Layla right now, just because, you know, always looking good. But yeah, there's a few things I want to pick up on Shop AEW there. Waiting for Mina. Well, we got Mina, we got Azium, we got hey KJ, how you doing? You missed a one-legged man losing an ass-kicking contest. But hope you're doing well tonight. By the way, folks, since KJ's in here, I'll just let you guys know that next week we're probably going to be starting a lot of multiplayer stuff. So, yeah, one of the texts I was mentioning that I was doing, I was letting her know about that. We haven't seen the women's four-way yet, but... next week, we're going to be starting a little multiplayer week here, as long as everything runs well. Zodiac, Vic, I want to make sure I get a hold of you guys here. We'll start next week with the myGM. I'll talk to PJC. If he's got it, great. If not, we'll pick a GM for him. And we'll pick a GM for him and we'll go. But yeah, we'll get some details. I promise I will get that out there. And of course, Kayla and myself, we're going to be actually starting Split Fiction here coming up. It's been a game I've really had on my radar for a while. Oh, God. I thought Lashley was going to release him right onto the stairs. That would have sucked. That would have royally sucked. Well, it's just amazing. Like, Lashley just gets the tag. He's like, no, you're coming outside. No, great to see everybody here tonight. Once again, just always a pleasure having everybody here, just having some fun. Talking some wrestling, staying away from all the BS. Enjoying the Maple Laughs get punked right now. Just because I feel like I got to do one more. As we're talking about Leafs Nation right now, that is the official button of Leafs Nation at this point. But yeah, just we're getting... By the way, has anybody heard of pay-per-view details? Matt Murray on the bench to get a shot.
Uh-oh.
I think it's the best way to answer that one. As well, since we, I guess we'll talk about it again a little later, but as long as everything works out this Friday, I'm going to have a simulcast of, or a rebroadcast, sorry, of Astra Pizarro and Melball with their review of the Queen of the Ring movie as part of Ladies Wrestling Syndicate. It will be up here on the Backbreaker Video YouTube channel, which if some of you are watching from there, will be put up there on Friday morning. Yeah, the Queen of the Ring movie is available now on social platforms, or sorry, streaming platforms like Amazon Prime and a lot of places where you get your regular streaming movies. So I know I hope to be checking it out maybe on Friday, if not next week. I might watch it before Double or Nothing next week, just because that's when I actually have some coordinated time off. Things have been a little crazy at work the last few weeks here, so got multiple people off for multiple weeks here. So, oh God. Oh, Dante's dead. It's May 2-4 this weekend, so it's going to rain, and maybe that. Yeah, I got to work the May 2-4 weekend here. But I do have the Sunday, Monday off of Double or Nothing. I love how MVP is just sitting there. Just can you hurry up and ring the bell? We're done here. See, if I was Stephon Smith, I would just disqualify these guys. It's probably going to be next. They aren't going to have that many more matches tonight just because they have to set up the cage for tonight. How about they making the Hurt Syndicate destroy everyone? When they finally lose, they'll be huge. Absolutely. Too much hot. You're flipping here? Yeah. I got a feeling the women will be on after the break here. Are we going title for title? Oh no, the little Bowser boys have to show up now. So are we going to get a 4-way at the pay-per-view or something, or what? I just thought Montreal was going to be getting spanked like the Leafs are right now, KJ, so I didn't think channel flipping would be that big of a deal for you. Like, this could be a very special night for sports fans tonight. I really don't care what little Koopalings here have to say, the Koopa kids or whatever. Is there no game tonight? Or are we playing, or is Toronto playing tonight? Like, I'm just trying to get this straight here. Ah, good old crowd, I love you. So you still want to face Top Flight? All right, great. Are they actually playing up the fact that Lashley's hype man was Leo Rush in WWE? All right, are we going to get an ROH title match? Are we going to get an AEW title match? Are we... What the... Toronto means... Okay. Okay, so we could get Sammy and Dustin versus the Hurt Syndicate at Double or Nothing. All right, so they're essentially taking away my thought of having Lashley versus MJF at Double or Nothing here. So, oh no, KJ, we have a special sound for it right now for Leafs Nation right here. It's basically my drama sound here, but we're going to use that for Leafs Nation tonight because, well, frankly, the sky is falling for them right now. But yeah, and then Vic, on the other hand, his Knicks have an opportunity to move on to the Eastern Conference Finals of the NBA with Jason Tatum not being around. They need to blow that. Well, we've been saying that for years. I'll tell you this: they lose the next two games tonight in Game 6. I think Brandon Shanahan's probably... So no Bobby and MJF at Double or Nothing. No, like they just said they just said that the winner of Little Bowser Boys and the ROH champs, the winner of that match is going to be taking on the Hurt Syndicate at Double or Nothing. So unless MJF does something to piss him off and change it, I guess we might get a provisional you're in. Oh, KJ, don't get me started about that Tatum thing right now, because for those that don't know, and this would be a very good point to bring up right now, because I'm a little pissed off about these releases to begin with, so you might hear me get onto a bit of a rant here. People have lost their jobs involuntarily. I'll get to the dings here right away because that might actually be important too. We'll get into that here. But people have lost their jobs involuntarily. They cut people. That should be WWE's theme song. But anyway, people have physically lost their jobs because of cuts. And now they're playing those cuts into storylines. That Tatum has lost all her friends because they're all gone. Yeah, because everyone got fired after such a great... they were actually doing something well with they actually did something really well with Chemical X. Oh, you're talking about that Tatum. Ha! There's bad things all around with... Sorry, I had Tatum Paxley on the brain there because there's like... I haven't had a chance to hear Astrid's feedback on this, but I know I'm doubly pissed about this. But the fact they're actually using releases as a fucking storyline. Like, I'm going to say this with, just in terms of the booking, in terms of what's going on. WWE, fuck you. I don't use that phrase a whole lot. But straight up, F off. Like, was disgusting. There's a reason why I don't watch a lot of WWE, and that is it. And then, yeah, just with Tatum rupturing his Achilles for the Celtics, yeah, it's going to be tough, but that record that they showed, the Celtics are 9-2 without Tatum in the playoffs. And the only two losses they had were to told Nick if he doesn't watch WWE Live, I wouldn't give a care in the world. That's fair. Tony Khan snitching. Tony Khan snitching on MJF. And MJF's like, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. I'm going to die. You're wasting valuable TV time with this. This is more time that the women's match could get. Could be enough time for a second women's match. But yeah, just... I will say this before I'll say it again. I support the wrestlers in WWE. I don't support a lot of the booking. I don't support a lot of the business plans from them. Come on, speed it up, Shelton. We already know it's a thumbs up for you. He already knows it's a thumbs up. That's where it was. I go use for. I don't think it's boring. I'll never take that away from the wrestling fans. Shelton's lined up for this, so we'll see how this goes. Wow. They actually are going to put him in. All right. Well, we're going to get some interesting vignettes here for over the next few weeks. That's for sure. Yeah, but he hasn't heard about the initiation yet. And there's going to be a clause in there. You have to face every member of the Hurt Syndicate to be a part of the Hurt Syndicate. Or something stupid like that. Guaranteed. Either that or they're going to have... they'll have Alexander come out and sign the contract instead. So MJF is the new Blue Blazer? No, I think he's more really Owen Hart. If you want to go with the Nation. I hate to say it, but it just looks that way. Well, I guess Lashley probably just didn't want to give up the car, right? Maybe that's what happened. Ha! Cell phone guy got to use the sign. Congratulations. Just say no, Lashley. So did we waste a full... Did we waste a full segment for that? Yep, we wasted a full segment on that. And I love how Astrid Pizarro, one of our members over here in Backbreaker Video, she chimes up, I really want Cedric to sign that contract instead of M blank F. Which I find a little funny, but I digress. Yeah, I think this is a complete ruse somehow. It has to be. I can't see MJF working that well with these guys, especially with the neuroses that he has and all the crazy stuff that's been going on. Which one, Nats? There's been many of them. And I'm also a little careful about stuff like that, so. The fact that Cedric, for Travis Scott to team with John Cena in either a tag or... There's always been pitches. I hate to flip it over to that other side, but I'm going to put straightforward to you. They're not changing the match. It's going to be Cena Punk at Money in the Bank because Cena's playing all his greatest hits. And his greatest hit at Money in the Bank was that match with Punk and Cena when Punk won the title and took off. So they're not going to be doing Travis Scott at Money in the Bank. If anything, you do it at SummerSlam where there's a little bigger crowd. I think with how poorly that whole thing went over, greatest hits besides Edge, yeah. Like, unfortunately, Copeland will not be a part of that. I'm really surprised that Cope isn't back yet, but I got a feeling he's probably going to show up at Double or Nothing. Plus, so we got 3 things left for tonight. And I think one of them actually involves Copeland long term. Number 1, we get the women's 4-way, the Eliminator match. Number 2, we got the cage match. But earlier tonight, there was also a note that came down that we're actually going to get Nigel McGuinness to come out and talk about the abuse that he's been getting from FTR, which might be setting up a match with him and Garcia against FTR Double or Nothing. I don't think you get Danielson this early. I think you get Garcia and McGuinness this time. And you could build up to Danielson McGuinness. If you're going to see Danielson, you're going to see him at All In. And here comes the 4-way. Now, once again, Mongo and well, they're doing a couple segments. It's not going to be like a full tribute show like Brody Lee, But yeah, Ric Flair's actually talked about him coming in for it, and it's going to be... Tony Khan knows how to do these right. That's the thing. And I think we've seen that with a lot of the stuff that's come down. Like, even you talk to, like that thing that came down with Maven. That Maven interview where he snuck backstage and ended up talking to Tony Khan and learning about the history of AEW and some of the practices they do now. Such a positive thinking from so many people about AEW. Like, you really have to be... Yeah. It was awesome. I love that the Chicago crowd has no clue. So are we getting 3 faces and a heel in this, or what? Or are we actually getting 4 faces in this matchup? Because you got Toni, you got... Well, Skye... Is she going to work with Julia, or is she... And then Mina, well... Depends how that works there, but... Mina's got no music. Mina now. So they made it official finally. They made it. Oh, sorry, my bad. My bad. Sorry. But yeah, Mina is a... They never said that she officially signed until Excalibur just mentioned it there. This makes it very interesting with Mariah, right? Like, people are saying Mariah's so far gone. This is amazing seeing Skye come out. I'm giving one of these just... So the last time we got to see Skye Blue on TV, the funny part is I was there. It was a Ring of Honor match against Rachel Ellering in Edmonton. And unfortunately, the match that match was the one where there was all that controversy about the heckler in the crowd. Her next match after that, she breaks her fibula. And she's actually gone on an interview earlier this week and talked about how it was Kyle Fletcher that basically saved her to keep wrestling. Because, yeah, like, she wanted to give up. And Kyle basically said, no, fuck you, you're going to keep going. And, yeah, it's great to see her back. It'll be interesting to see how this goes. And, yeah, Mariah's ODing since eating all the, yeah. If you guys haven't seen the photo, go on Mariah's X or any of her socials. I love this. You got 2 people that work in Stardom or worked in Stardom that know each other very well. Just give them 10 minutes and let them go. Like, you're letting Toni and Skye just work the other side, stay out of camera range. Let Skye get some shots in, get the feel back into it here in front of everybody. And here we go. Darby takes time off to climb Everest. Mariah needs time to...
Oh, yeah!
I'll give you that one right there. You deserve that one for that one. I'm not continuing the discussion on that one. Thank you. Ha! Azumi and Toni pulling out. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There is a lot of history of Mina and Toni. It's a little awkward, but you also get... Maybe she did a flip kick to mark the occasion. Yeah, I know you would. You, my friend, here, eat a forearm. Oh, my. I'm just glad these ladies are getting a fair bit of time here, because... Well, that takes care of that Irish whip. I love how they're bringing up the strong women's title. Like I said, I do expect Mercedes to be out here eventually to cause some BS. And there's the figure 4. Very nice coverage there as it's going along here. This match has just been going... I know that some of the spots might look a little off, but honestly, the chemistry with most of these women involved in this matchup is just... It feels good to watch. And I'm not just saying that just because of who's in there. Ha! Into a crossbar. Skye just said, nope, I'm just going to kick you in the face. Oh, no way. And Skye just said, yep, we're going to do that. Beach bait. What are you thinking about, Excalibur? Jesus. Beach bait. But yeah, this is turning out to be a hell of a match here right off. Like, as we're going along here, just keeping everything nice and smooth, nice and rolling. And the fact that we got to hear that Mina has signed with AEW. Whether that's completely true or not, we'll have to wait and see here. I'm assuming it'll come down the pipe here sooner than later. Just waiting for the old SRS chance to come down here. Da, 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 da. Nothing as of yet. I'm assuming there's going to be some... Oh. Yeah, we got the Willow one down. That's all SRS has reporting right now. So, once again, like I said, in terms of my relations, I stick with SRS for 95% of my reportings, but that's about it. We missed the fake spider spot? Damn it, I thought we'd see her tonight. Sorry, I'm just seeing online that it's there. So, TK here talking about that little spot earlier. I was just making sure MJF wouldn't miss his big moment with Bobby and Shelton and MVP and finally gave him the good news tonight on AEW Dynamite. What are friends for? Oh my. See, I don't mind when you get a promoter involved in a little spot like that, right? Anything else more than that? Maybe you got to be a little careful, but TK knows his limits and he sticks with them, right? So oh my God, SRS trying to get crew haha over instead of brouhaha. But yeah, just. But looking at what's going on here in the ring, right? Cora Jade, Skye Blue tag team would go crazy. 2 Chicago-based wrestlers. Here's the problem with that right now. And I don't like tonight. Hell yeah, if we could do it, but we're not going to be able to. You're about halfway into the match here, KJ, because it's been actually pretty good off the start. Azumi and Mina got about 5 minutes in the ring just to, they know each other, just go. And then Skye got a little bit of offense in here. Tony's been getting a little bit of offense. Everybody just been going for it. We're in the picture-in-picture right now. Now just coming back to the commercial break. Once again, everybody, thank you for being here. Whether you're watching on the YouTubes, whether you're watching on the Twitch, whether you're watching VODs or either one. Please let Joe win. All right. I'm going to throw this out here. Does anybody here think Joe's going to win tonight? Besides Nats? Like, honestly, this cage match, there's going to be so many shenanigans, and it's literally just going to cause... I think they don't stray from Ospreay, but like I said at the beginning of the show, it wouldn't make me feel bad if we had either Hangman or Ospreay win. By the way, chat, what do you think about this residency we're doing? Right after All In, they settle into Chicago for 3 weeks, and then they go to Philadelphia for 3 weeks. Who do you think is the first pickup AEW gets for the win? Well, it hasn't been made officially yet, but it's there. Thekla is the first official signing. Out of Stardom. Mina has been announced that she's been signed. Willow, earlier tonight, SRS announced that there's a multi-year contract extension for... Willow Nightingale. But in terms of the WWE releases, I would think Elena Black would be making the most... Well, Dakota Kai would make... I think Dakota does get there. The only problem is with her, she's got the 90-day. Elena Black, Priscilla Kelly, all those, they only have 30s. Black going OnlyFans. Tony Storm has an OnlyFans, if you didn't know. I have no research experience on that whatsoever. But who cares? It's 2025. Unless you want to buy it. If you think you can do a little bit of that, go ahead. Money feels way better than bumps, yeah. That's what Reddit is for. Science. Always science. Always for science. Zoomy going for the stuff. So where's Mandy Rose? She's on passes, I do believe. She was talking about that. Because she does passes because there's no nudity on passes whatsoever. OnlyFans, they could tease nudity and not do it, and it's nice and legal. Oh, in terms of wrestling, she's doing a little bit of like the last time. Oh, Storm Zero, we're done. No, Mina breaks it up. The last Twitter ad I saw earlier today was for oh my God, Lost in the Woods reversal. Well, looks like we have our double or nothing opponent. We don't need Thekla here yet. And there's no BS. You beat the champ. They said Mina was going to get a huge push to start the show. Well, the graphics already done. Here we go. Mina and Toni at double. I told you we were going to get a women's title match at Double or Nothing. Toni with the A+. Yeah, absolutely. Toni's been known for her A+ facials. I'm not referring at all to the finish of her WWE career at all. Phrasing. What the? Well, I told you Mercedes was showing up. Mercedes a little pissed she lost her title on Saturday. And here comes Jamie Hayter to break that up. So there's layers to this violence right now. And now Jamie's got the crossface on, or as we call it more importantly around here, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, that security guy should get punched in the face for holding that arm. Seriously. Seriously. This is going to be fun. Fire that guy. Yeah, damn right. Whoever did that caricature of Taz in behind him, I want to give credit for that. No, unprofessional. Hey. Shame, shame, shame. But I'm glad we're getting some matches finally booked for Double or Nothing. Like, they announced that there's the two Owen Hart matches. They got Mina and Toni. They got the Hurt Syndicate versus whoever wins on Saturday. Now we're going to do the Sabu tribute, which I missed the Xenogears plug there. Nah, it sucks. I'm glad they're taking a few seconds here to acknowledge Sabu. I'll give you that. So, I don't know if you guys... Oh, by the way... I don't know if you guys heard the story about what happened with Taz and with Sabu. Originally, when these two faced off to begin with, it was, of course, Taz and Sabu at an Eastern Championship Wrestling show. It was supposed to be a squash match for Sabu. Like, Taz was only brought in as an enhancement talent for one night on this. And Sabu said, no, we're going to let you get some stuff in. We're going to get you over. We're going to see what the real Taz is all about. And they brought the house down for their first match. And that eventually what led to Taz getting signed with ECW. And thanks to that, like, we got to be thankful for the career of Taz, thanks to Sabu. Like, there's a reason why Taz is in the shape that he's in right now in terms of mentally because of what happened here with Sabu. He owes his career to Sabu in many ways. So, and I appreciate how, you know, it's one thing that I've learned when I watch AEW versus watching other organizations. When I watch an AEW promo, when I watch AEW segment, even like this, it doesn't feel like it's something forced. It doesn't feel like they're doing this because it's good PR. It feels like, and it's the same thing with Tony Khan. When you see him talking, when you see him over enthusiastic, when you see him being a little kid out there sometimes. But when it comes to all this, AEW is real, is the best way to explain. AEW, when they do something, they do it because they want to do it. The amount of, yes, there is some level to storytelling to AEW. But when you're going out there, and goes back to the talk about how the majority of AEW storytelling is told in the ring. Most wrestlers that go to AEW do it because they love wrestling. The art of the promo is still there, but it doesn't have to be their strongest suit. If you love being in a wrestling ring, if you love entertaining the fans, if you love telling stories in the ring, AEW is going to do that because they're going to make it feel like you're real when you're doing it. You're telling them exactly what you want to do. When they're doing these segments here for Sabu, when they did in many ways, the turning factor in AEW for a lot of higher end wrestlers was the Brody Lee tribute show. And honestly, when you watch that show, because it frankly is one of the most watched AEW episodes ever, it literally feels real. It feels like you're physically getting involved. It feels like the wrestlers are actually going through the real emotions rather than just some subterfuge of something. Can you tell they're taking time to take the cage down? Oh, good. And Joseph Wall. All right, this is going to be a 1 week and done thing here. You can guarantee that now. Oh, here we go. He wants to apologize. FTR is going to come out, and then they're going to set up the tag match. Florida's hockey country.
No.
Oh, sorry. Never mind.
Sir, no, sir.
There, that's a little more appropriate for you. Told you, here comes Garcia. They're going to set up the tag match against FTR. Oh, every time I stay quiet, I love this. Every time I take a little break from talking, everything's so quiet that YouTube thinks that there's a problem with my audio setup. You know your noise reduction's working well when. Sorry, where are the past 5 cups been located? With all due respect, Tellus can call some other time. Let me quickly check this chat. Idiots. Wait, here, hold on.
You idiot!
They're trying to sell me just a salesman. I have to be nice to him because I do want some deals. You know, every time you want some deals. No, it's Telus, my internet guy. Well, as soon as I told him I was live on a Twitch stream and they were listening to him, he sort of hung up real quick. So we'll see. Told him to call me back tomorrow. Oh, God. Stokely and Nigel, actually a pretty good combination here. And the Blue Jays actually won. Wow. This is the double or nothing thing that I was talking about here, folks. I think it's quite obvious. They might kill us. I like this. Now Stokely doesn't want it. All right. Al Bundy of AEW. Wow. Wow. You barely beat hepatitis? Oh no, here we go. Spike pile driver coming. Daddy Magic with a pipe. Oh, crowbar, even better. So, folks, while we're getting to this, I need to remind you, we're supposed to have a cage match coming up. We only got 15 minutes. I sure as hell hope that cage comes down in a hurry here. I like that sweater that Dax has on, to be honest with you. So are we going to get this match or not? I think so. I think he says no. They do this to... All right, so they're previewing what's coming up on Saturday here with the tribute to Steve Mongo McMichael. Also, there is one match that, you know, a lot of people are looking forward to here with Anna Jay taking... Oh, here we go. Fletcher and Air Fox. They got the Anna Jay Megan Bain match, so I know Zodiac will be here front and center. There it is. There's a graphic. I wonder if that's going to set up a tag match. Blake Christian, Speedball Bailey. Okay. They're really giving Blake a lot of TV time. I'm not feeling bad about it. Raging Boehner. So you're having your ROH tag champs in a AEW contenders match? And a Chicago street fight. All right. So we had the gift. Well, Nats, I would hold on with that score. 9 out of 10 so far. But realistically, what's going on here with our main event? Knowing you're probably going to decrease the score tonight. For me, I think it's going to be fine. As they're bringing the cage down, we're going to commercial break here. It'll drop judging the main event. Yep, yeah, I think so, because there's going to be shenanigans, I think. But yeah, as we're getting to our main event here, just give you a rundown on what's been coming up in terms of the stream, because there is a few changes here coming, slight changes. Tomorrow, time is TBA because I'm scheduled to do a podcast tomorrow. It was supposed to be last Saturday. Now it's been bumped to Thursday. Time is probably going to be about noon. Going to be talking about Killer Instinct. I'll give you guys all the details once it's up and set up. I do have to thank Zodiac again for getting me on the show, getting me on his show, which instantly let me go to other shows that want me on. So all the credit to Zodiac there. But I will be on tomorrow. Since we finished Link's Awakening last night, I think we're going to do since we're going to start Split Fiction next week, I think we're going to do City of the Wolves tomorrow, the new SNK game. I've had it for about 2 weeks now, and I just want to be... No, you were the second. Well, Adam was the first one, right? Because that's where you heard me talk about Killer Instinct on that show. And then, yeah, then you were the next one. Talking video games. But I was literally told is because I was on your show that they wanted me on their show. So that's where the thank you comes in, my friend. So we're going to do City of the Wolves a little bit tomorrow. No stream, pending stream on Friday. We'll see. I'm picking up that new Capcom Fighting Collection too. We might throw it up there and see what you think. If I can get the audio cable so we can hook up it's weird how I have to set up my audio now for PlayStation. So we'll see how that goes. Saturday we'll be here with AEW Collision as well as week 19 of season 1. We're going to record week 17 and 18 tonight after we're done here on Dynamite. And then next Sunday, plans are to do a little bit of MLB The Show. That might be our last MLB stream for a little bit. And then next week, we're going to feature Split Fiction with Kayla J. If everything goes well, HPC Bad Guys, Zodiac, and PJC Plays Games will be joining me for a little WWE 2K24 myGM multiplayer online. We'll see if we can get that going next week. Eventually, games that I want to get in here. I'm looking at Doom the Dark Ages. I'm looking at Expedition 33, but my God, that backlog is starting to pile up a fair bit here. So I've seen a lot of people enjoy Doom. I've never been a good Doom player, but this one here, where you have to be a little bit more of a tank, is more my style. They haven't even pulled the freaking cage down yet. Your dad has every Doom ever. Does he have it on his TI-83? As long as doing Doom things, it can't be bad. Yeah. No, absolutely. Look at this cage. There's no clips. There's no there's no chains holding it together. They literally, that is the perfect cage. Be mindful that it's a TV main event and championships won't change. I think it's just going to be an ugly, just like a pay-per-view match. All right, well, somebody go find HPC right now and give him a big hug. Because the Celtics have forced Game 6. Which I assume is on Friday. You're on US. Okay, so yeah, Joe's just getting into the cage right now, so from where you're seeing it from where I am. Plus, there's also a stream delay too, right? So there's a little bit of delay on both ends here. Okay, so yeah, you're about a minute and a half behind. But yeah, now, like, the way this cage is built, this is actually, it's going to be hard. Like, I wonder how it comes apart. Or they just keep it at Wintrust, just leave it there. Let WWE use it whenever they show up. The Nats are actually, hey, strange enough things have happened, Nats. So here's my prediction, folks. Like, I know Moxley should win tonight. I think Ospreay wins at Never Hate This Team's 8. I always love Wild Thing myself. But this actually makes a lot of sense for what they're doing. I think there's actually a brand new design for the AEW World title. And they'll reveal it at Double or Nothing, or sorry, not Double or Nothing, at All In, when Ospreay wins the title and they actually have to open the briefcase up. What I'd love to see, once Shayna's on her right side walkout, this match will be so much better. Fair enough. All right, chat. I will throw this out here because I know a lot of people were talking about this earlier. Who ends up over here in AEW? I don't think there's going to be as many as people think. I think Dakota Kai would be a great match with all the international ladies that are here. Shayna and Marina, I think they work together on the Indies. I don't know if they work together on AEW. I like this about AEW. Shayna, Gigi, and Cora. I'll tell you right now, Nats, Gigi will not be. Priscilla Kelly is 95% chance she goes to TNA. Shotzi's already is all about working the Indies right now. Well, actually, she's been announced to be a part of MLW. So, no. Gigi was with Darby originally, but now she's with Zachary Wentz, who is in TNA. The third rascal that got booted out of there. Well, I know it's not easy to keep up, and I encourage people not to. Because, well, couples don't really need to factor into this, because way too many times people have looked at Renee and looked at John and just... It's none of our business who's with who, but let them tell us whatever they want to tell us. I do know that Wrestling Revolver is when Priscilla Kelly's making a return. And her first return match is actually going to be taking on Zachary Wentz in a husband versus wife, well, boyfriend-girlfriend match. I think, all right, so yeah, I got a feeling Priscilla will end up there. They do have to wait because, you know, they got this whole Tatum Paxley storyline. They don't want to interfere with it, right? Because Tatum's been working a lot of TNA to begin with. And now with Indy signing over at TNA as well. Can we get a horn for Miles Bourne? He won't hear it, though. No, once again, he like the big thing about Miles Bourne is they were trying to say that he is that he is another version of Randy Orton. TNA discount NXT in more ways than one. I'll be honest, I don't know. I really don't know what's going to happen when it comes to TNA after this AAA acquisition. Nats, may I interject one small thing? Alberto Del Rio is the AAA world champion right now. Matt Riddle's one of their top contenders. That I was basically going the same way as McGee was going there. No. WWE will get in there and get their club. Like, I don't want to be pessimistic about it. I want everybody to succeed. But it just... we'll see what happens, because right now we got a TNA title being defended literally at the same time as Double or Nothing on an NXT show. So there is a possibility that Trick Williams could walk out of there. Can't wait for AWC. By the way, have any of you guys checked out the Airbnb with CMLL? That they're offering a deal where you can stay in Mexico and learn to become a luchador with one of the CMLL wrestlers known as Retro. I think that would be actually pretty fun to do if you were actually in shape to do it. Well, in tradition-wise, Nats, like right now, you have AAA that is essentially number 2 right now in when it comes to wrestling circles in Mexico. However, they are sending Jeremy Borash down there to work on the production down there, starting with Worlds Collide and then going from there, because the sale isn't official yet. I think both can be pretty decent products. They're both going to be different products. Well, I think Mysterio's going to make... well, Mysterio's on the advertisements in the commercials now that they've acquired him or working on him, some of the ads there. Dominic's been there. The Lucha Brothers have been included in a few promos just because they're alumni from there. But like I said, don't ever turn around and just say, I want them to fail. I want them to be horrible. They're going to be terrible. We might see it. I don't want to wish that on anybody because that's jobs. It's just like with TNA. I hope that it's definitely, well, that is still a weird situation to me. My personal belief, Conan gets punted the second that WWE takes over. With all due respect, I don't see them keeping Conan around. But with all the stuff that's gone down, you never really know, right? Because they're really not going to need a head booker there if Borash is there covering everything, right? So, oh yeah, here comes Yuta, here comes Claudio. Goes back to the Vince Russo podcast network. Well, probably. Oh, and here comes Willow. Here comes Hobbs. We haven't seen Shibata yet. So we are still outnumbered here at this point. Yep. I told you guys, this is going to be a screwy finish somehow. We're not getting a title change. There's no way. Hook, that could be the Hook return. Could you imagine Hook turning on Joe and the reaction? Oh God, Moxley's bleeding. It's a cage match. We knew that was coming. It's great, though. The fact that we're actually getting a pay-per-view style match on regular TV. Because let's face it, Samoa Joe, Mox is bleeding. It's a wrestling match. Yeah. I'll give you that. First coin of the night. But yeah, like this match here, you could put on a pay-per-view and it actually... It does feel like this thing could go either way here. Taz told a cool story on Busted Open. He said a show in Vegas when Sabu joined Adam Cole. Taz, Sabu, and Hook got a pick. That's cool. So, in matches like this, the biggest thing for me, like we said, we don't think that the title's going to change most of us. Nats, you're a different story. How believable can you make it that the challenger is going to win here? That's the mission in a match like this. It's not to try to come up with figuring out none at all. I'm in the yeah, you are. And if he does get the title, all the power to you, Nat, so I will give you full credit for it. But how believable can you make it that, you know, Joe can win here? Joe busting out the greatest hits here is always great as well. I love Taz's commentary on it. Looks like you got shot out with a bazooka right now. Into the STF, that is nuts. Heh. So, apparently AEW has already made a big change to one of their superstars. According to X, Mina's team's going back to the old one as of next week. That is hilarious. Man, I remember finding Joe on YouTube versus CM Punk 2008. Hey. Joe's got so many good matches all over the place here. It's pretty amazing if you ask me. Like, for everything that's going on with him. Well, I guess biting's legal, so why not? Moxley, do you really want to get into a striking match with Joe? He might be the one guy in the company you might not want to do that with. So what was Mox doing pulling the one shoulder up? Is it just 'cause... No, if he would have hit that muscle buster, it would have been over. Now Moxley's got the choke in. I don't see this being like... Joe's doing the Hulk up thing here. I guess that's a dirty word these times now, using the Hulk up phrase. Dirty deeds out of nowhere. This is actually a really good match, yeah. Mox hits the referee. That way it cleans out the... somebody has to come in, right? Is that how we get the dirty shenanigans? They are definitely going in overtime here. Trying to set up for another paradigm shift? Nope. Here comes Claudio. Shenanigans are us. Gun to your head, does Mox ever return to WWE? No. I think it would do a ton to have to do that. And Wheeler just ate a table. See, Joe had to clutch in. And the fact that he let it go tells me he's not winning. No way. Gabe freaking Kidd, let's go. Gabe Kidd, of all people. Of all people. I thought we'd get a debut tonight, but not Gabe Kidd. Folks, we are about to get the Ops versus the War Dogs. The Ops versus the War Dogs. Someone's about to steal the show. And the low blow by Kidd. Yeah. Gabe Kidd is here in AEW. The guy that said he would never be here has just showed up. And Willow just got drilled. Joe versus Gabe could be a match as well. And here come the Bucks. This is where I told you anarchy is about to start. Do they have a cage control in their hand? Is that what they have? Yeah, no, this is where anarchy in the arena starts here. And here comes Mr. Omega. And well, you know, does that mean we are getting possibly? And Okada with a shot to the kidneys. What kind of shirt is Omega wearing here? The Connection? They're trying to bring the cage back down again? This is going to be a little bit nasty. Okay, so Speedball took care of Okada. So we're going to have a little bit of left, right, back, down, up, around, all around here. Yeah, Swerve's got to climb the cage. We got to get Swerve out here to climb the cage. We need a new pop here. Well, there's the original feud in AEW. Darby, I don't think is back yet. I honestly don't think Darby's back yet. He's still, like, when he did that last photo, he was not at the peak yet. He's still climbing. And you also got to remember, they just don't climb up. They have to climb down a bit too. Nats fan, I warned you. By the way, did you guys hear Swerve's getting his own Reeboks? And Nana's literally just doing the dance. I'll give you an 8. I'll give you an 8 on that. I warned you all, we are going to get Anarchy in the Arena announcement tonight. And that's exactly what's coming up here. So, yeah, well, they are Iversons. And, oh, gee, Swerve has a microphone in his hands. Are we going to get women involved in the Anarchy match? You know what? For going 15 minutes overtime, this ain't bad. I am the fear. Here it is. Called it. Here we go. This is how you get the men's title not defended on the show. There's our main event, folks. So the Bucks have been in Anarchy in the Arena every year since it started. Not a fan of it, but I'm happy. I've never been a fan of violence for violence sake. This might be the first year where they're actually doing some damn storytelling for it. Just think about that. That's the reason I hate violence for violence sake, is the fact that they don't have a lot of story for it. There are so many stories going on right now that it almost looks like this is the exact what. That's the leeway, yeah. Like myself personally, I feel that there's enough stories here that you do not have a problem with this match. they literally are rolling right now when it comes to, like, they got, what, 5 or 6 different storylines? Now they got Gabe Kidd involved, which is probably going to be the early seeds. You put Gabe Kidd in there, that's literally helping you set up not only All In, but the early seeds for Forbidden Door. The fact that you can get all the way down to August, and you're going to set up, whether it be a rematch with Omega and Kidd at in London, whether it's going to be the Ops versus the War Dogs, whichever way you want to go with it, it's going to be. I'll lose it if the World Championship match is Gabe Ospreay. That very well could be it as well, because those guys had a pretty good promo battle going forward. Just like I said, just think about, we can really sow some seeds here for the summer, and they did it in 10 minutes. Like, they've been talking some stuff lately, like all over the place with a lot of these different guys. But that last 10 minutes there might be enough to set up, what, 4, 5, 6 matches? AEW just said, beat that WWE. No, I think it's more the fact of AEW just saying, we have a great product. This is our storytelling. This is what we're going to do. I appreciate how AEW is being smart, not going at the same time that... Yeah, I would appreciate more than that. Stay in your lane. I don't think AEW is in the business of competing with WWE, because let's face it, with the PR machine and everything going on, as much as we can think that AEW has better story, better wrestlers, like Ospreay was talking about earlier this week, that he thinks that the AEW roster could wrestle circles around the WWE roster. I agree at points. I don't necessarily agree with that statement completely. I think Styles, but I also feel that we can I feel that AEW is in a position right now where they're not saying, don't go watch that. They're saying the most important part. This is why you need to watch us. Look at this. We got Anarchy in the Arena as our main event. Our semi-main event, Mina, Shirakawa, and Toni Storm. We have Hangman Page and Will Ospreay. We have Mercedes Moné and Jamie Hayter. We have more than likely Dustin and Sammy versus the Hurt Syndicate. And we still got a couple weeks to set the rest up. They'll blow up that card a lot higher. They needed this to go on. We're probably also going to get Nigel and Garcia versus FTR. I do have a feeling we're going to see that as well. They're going to set everything up here over the next week and a half, but right now those 5 matches have pretty much sold. Honestly, it sold me on the pay-per-view. I don't know about you guys, and let me know in the comments if you think that's the case, whether you're on YouTube or on Twitch. Let me know. Do you guys think that these matches of, like, I'm going to buy it. By the way, I got to find out where we're going to be able to see it, because, well, Triller hasn't advertised it yet, so we might have to go Amazon exclusive. We'll have to see. I got to talk to, I got to send some notes out and start asking some stuff. So, no, I don't VPN stuff. When you're a content creator, honestly, myself as a content creator, I've always believed that doing VPN, doing anything like that, those illegal sites, personally for me, yes, I understand it's about saving money, but I'm a content creator and I wouldn't want people taking money out of my pocket if they're going to put money in, if I put money in theirs. And it's just a common thing. just common courtesy, respect. But all in all, like I said, tonight, excellent night of wrestling. We're going to get to see the contract signing of MJF next week, which I think we got a little bit of dustings that this ain't going to be much of a contract signing. I think that Bobby's convinced that he can do 2 matches in one night. That quite possibly could be a thing. They could set up 2 matches where, say the Crew win on Saturday. So it's the Crew versus the Hurt Syndicate, and Bobby has to face MJF after. Hey, Cameron, good to see you here. We're just wrapping up the first half of the show here as we're wrapping up Dynamite. We're going to get into some WWE 2K right away. But, yeah, we have like a lot of positive things coming out of this show. And Saturday should be pretty epic. I know we're going to hear some crazy stuff come up, but I think all in all, I think we had a hell of a show tonight. But with that, I think we're going to wrap up the first half of the show here because we want to get going with some 2K25 here. We got a double taping coming up. For those over on YouTube, make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. We are on the road to 900 subs over there on the wrestling channel. And in the pinned comment, there is a link to my Twitch channel, which we will be doing some WWE 2K25 myGM mode. We got 2 weeks coming in. We just had a very successful week 16. We are on our way to Survivor Series, so we're going to get the bulk of the Survivor Series matches out of the way. Setting up here as we get into our PLE before the PLE coming up. We'll be doing that on Saturday. But yeah, with that being said, for those over on YouTube, we will be back here next time live on Saturday with the AEW Beach Blast Collision Edition. So with that being said, thank you everybody for being here, and we will see you here next time on the Backbreaker Video YouTube channel. Take care, everybody.